Hello, students. Welcome to the video of how I go about and texture stylized skin inside of Substance Painter. So I'm going to pick up where I left off. And here we are. Clothing and all that kind of stuff is done. The clothing parts are done. And we're gonna move on to the face. So we'll do it on the face because you have the arm also, but then we'll do the face first, this one, and then we'll get back to the arm. You'll see what we do. We're gonna apply to the arm. So don't be scared. We're gonna get there. So let's start on the face. I'm gonna solo the face by clicking here. All right. Okay, so I solo the face. And oh yeah, first thing if you know me, you know I'm gonna version up. So I'm gonna save as. And I'm gonna save this as character underscore version 2. The reason why I do all these things is because I know you do not want to have one version of your working files. In case one get corrupt, you don't have excuses at the end of the day. You have a backup plan. That's why I do it. Okay. All right. Good. So guys, we're not going to create anything from scratch, but regarding to the skin. And you were probably thinking, remember, we're doing stylized skin. So we're not doing realistic kind of skin. I just want to put it out there. We're not doing realistic wrinkles, all that funny, crazy stuff. We're not doing all that kind of thing. Right? Another thing I wanted to tell you, if you were animating a character like his eyebrows are gonna move, you would have to, I'm gonna turn on everything. You'd have to select his ear, and before you bake him, you're gonna select the ear and move them over to the side here. So when it bakes, it doesn't have these lines and that line and that line. Okay? All right, cool. It doesn't have it. So that's a tip. That's if you're animating the character is gonna move his eyebrow. He's gonna take off his. He's gonna go bald. Yeah, those couple tips that I wanted to tell you. Now that we have the face selected, I wanted to go to the smart material tab over here, and I want you to just type in skin. And as you can see, if you put your mouse here, you see skin face, skin feverish, skin human skin sample, skin star, and this is skin. That's my character skin. So I'm gonna choose skin face, click it, and drop it here. As soon as I click it and drop it there, you're noticing a couple of things. Okay. We're not gonna just get away with just applying this effect right away. We're really gonna go in there and start fixing stuff. So this one, we're using skin face. Click it, drag it, drop it, make sure you're on the face layer, all that kind of stuff. Okay, okay, great. Good start so far. Thank you. Okay, so let's open this up and see what we got in here. Click here. Now let's turn off a bunch of things. We have fake SSS. SSS stands for subsurface scattering. Look that up. Do a research on that. I'll be talking about that more in class this week when I start shading the skin. Like when I mean shading the skin, I mean like adding the skin inside of Maya, its shaders and stuff. Okay, so we have the SSS here. Then we have the AO. Then we have the skin patches. Then we have the skin pores. The skin pores, you could tile these some more, so you could go really fine. So I put this to like 21. Skin detail. So we have these. And then we have the details here. Then we have the skin patches. Have that little break up there. If you press the shift key and the middle mouse and the right mouse button, click and scroll, you can see what I'm talking about when I say skin breakup. So you see that little specular breakup. I press C on the keyboard. This is what we're getting when it comes to roughness. And this is what the specular roughness is doing with a black and white map. Press M to go back to your viewport. Scroll. Here's the AO. And here is the fake SSS. Okay. Okay. Under here, you could, if you want to give him some lip, like paint his lip, I'm going to paint his lip. So it's as simple as, I like what's going on here. If you don't like certain things, like for example, if you don't like the SSS at a certain part, you could right click, add a paint layer, get the paintbrush tool here, and choose, let's see, skin. Okay, no, I'm not gonna use that. Just pick a regular brush, maybe like a soft brush, maybe a cotton brush, and you could press X on your keyboard. And like for example, around his mouth is kind of red, so you could probably paint away some of that. And also you could go up here and turn on the flow. So his flow is kind of like opacity. And you could just go and just paint away certain areas that you think you don't want this thing. Okay, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to press the skin. I'm going to click on the poly fill tool. I'm going to call this lip. And the color that I'm going to give to this, I'm going to turn it off. Click on the color here. Scroll down in the properties. Click here. Pick the color. And the lip is going to be a little bit different shade. So I already click it and choose the shade that I want. And then I'm going to right click and create a black mask. And then the best thing we need to do is click up here, go into 2D and 3D mode. So you can see what's going on here. And here is you can pick like a hard brush here. And this is how mine looks, by the way. If I click here and just paint, I'm gonna press the square bracket key just to paint. Also, you want to click, I want to go into properties here, and you want to change into scroll down with the middle mouse button and choose tangent. You want to choose UV. So when you're painting in the 2D mode, and then just paint. I'm just gonna paint like so. So I'm just painting around. I'm gonna fix this up, don't worry. And then I'm gonna go into the 3D mode, press X on the keyboard, and simply start erasing away certain things. I'm using my mouse, but if you have a stylus tablet, you could go ahead and use that. Very simple as that, you know. Maybe just paint along here, Paint along. You can even turn on, it's too late now, but because I already paint like a part of this. But I could have turned on symmetry to paint, but it's okay. You can get away with just painting this. Paint like that. And paint. Okay. Paint here. Slide on. Go back into the corner. Alright. You could do a better job than how I'm doing it here, but you can kind of get the picture what we're going for. You're the artist, you could know what you want to do with the lip of the character. Okay, up to you. After I'm done, I'm gonna right click on here and I'm gonna add a filter. I feel if I blur it a bit, we could get away with some of the rough edge, kind of like so. All right, cool. So if I turn it on and off, that's what I'm getting. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, all right? Yeah. And the skin, if I want to play around with the skin, make him a little bit more kind of like me. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to cancel that. Sorry. I'll just undo. I kind of, yeah. Oops. Did I flip? Okay, here we go. We'll leave it as is like this. Okay. All right. Cool. And and I like to so this is like so I'm gonna create a new fill layer. And by the way, I'm looking at reference here, guys. Okay, I'm looking at reference in case you're wondering. I'm looking at reference. So I have this guy here. As you can see, he has some red around his cheeks. I'm gonna try to paint that in. So I just want to let you know I'm not just paint this in out. I'm not painting this. I'm not just painting it out of my head. So I'm gonna call these blushes. And right click, create a black mask. And this, click on the color. We want to choose that. And we're going to choose a soft brush here. Click on here and play around the opacity. And just use the square bracket key. And all you do is just paint here. Paint here. And then you could go right click, add a filter, add a blur, blur it up, and there we go. Okay, could really blur it there. All right, you can turn on the rest of his body just to kind of see how everything is looking together. Okay. His lip, I could maybe desaturate it a little bit more. So desat, darken, something like that. All right, cool. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys could do a better job on the lip. So the lip, I think I could turn on the roughness, and I could play around with the roughness here. So there's some kind of wetness on his lip, kind of like that. See that? Cool. All right, cool. And I think that's it. You could leave it up to you to just paint more things if you want with the skin, but this is the skin here. And I'm gonna copy this, copy layer. Then I'm gonna go to the body where the arm, because remember the body, it didn't break out with the body with the character's model. The skin is the hand skin is also on this thing here. So I'm gonna close this up, and so we have fabric here. We have the shoes and like that. So we're gonna paste that what I just copied, paste layer, and just drag it and drop it outside like so. And okay, maybe not, maybe not this. Let's turn it off. Maybe turn that off. Maybe delete. I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna go back here, type in smart material, and type in skin, and I'm gonna take this one and just click it, drag it, and drop it here. Okay, so that's how it looks. Now I'm gonna right click on the skin, create a black mask, click on the polyfill tool just like here, click on the checker pattern here, click the parts that you want to have the skin texture. Okay, turn on the rest of the body, click on the brush tool, and here we are. Obviously you don't want it to be so bumpy, so I'm going to start turning off layers. So turn off. So skin pores definitely needs scroll up, tile more. Skin patches is there. Skin AO, maybe I have to click on here and play around with the levels, see what I got. Not really get anything. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So here we go with the skin AO. So it has to match his face, right? So that's what we're going for. What else? The AO here. So we have the AO. Okay, we have the AO. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna play around with the, here's the SSS. So click here and I'm gonna just crank this a little bit. And just crank this. It's already been lit, so I'm just clicking on the levels here and just cranking it. And there we go. His cheek, now that I'm looking back, his cheek is kind of too rosy for me. Like he have on too much makeup. So I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna go back to where it said blushes, and I'm just gonna play around with the opacity of that and just knock it down just like that. Okay, so first of all, you could choose to paint in fingernails if you want. You could choose to paint in fingernails. And that's easy. Go back to the body and click on skin. In here, go to here, click on the polyfill tool. Just call these finger nails. Right click, go to black mask and get a brush tool. Delete that out. File, save your scene. Okay. So that's save. Yeah, let's create the fingernail. So let's simply get a hard brush and just going in there I'm just painting. Let's paint. You just paint like a fingernail thing there if you want. This is if you want, really. I could go really, if I wanted, I could just go in there and just paint the fingernail in there. I'm gonna show you a cool trick. So after, I'm not gonna add fingernail to this guy here, but I'm just showing you that you could do it and how you could approach it. So this is that, right? Okay. So kind of like that, fingernail. Then you could click on the shader itself, turn it on the height, and just like that. See that? But then you have to go back to the mask, add a blur, a filter, and add a blur on there, and not so much, just very subtle. And there you go, you have some kind of like a fingernail thing going on there. All right, sort of. You can even go back here, play around with the height of that, and there we go. You can even go the other way. Let's see what we got. Other way, yeah. Other way is not too bad. Like that. And there we go. Have some fingernails though. There you go. You can even not make it so gray. You could make it a piece of the skin, but then kind of knock it back like so. Like so. Kind of like so. You understand? Yeah. Cool. You guys know how to paint. You guys know how to paint. I have faith in you guys. So, yeah. I think that's it for the skin. That is it for the skin. Okay. All right. Cool. So, see you guys. I'm going to save this. And see you guys in class tomorrow morning. Thank you. Take care.